All right, thank you very much for your tolerance, councillors. 106 agreeing with the recommendations. 120 disagreeing with the recommendation.
Item 45, acquisition of Evans 737 and 1304 Yeovil Township.
Councillor Mabona.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Hopefully you can hear me. We welcome the announcement of news from the ANCPC, from the ANC of Acting Swift. We shall, however, note the defense and silence of the ANCRC, and we hope that there will be an independent process into this matter by the city, as it includes one of our own. EFF advocates for the expropriation of South African land without compensation for equal redistribution in use. The EFF advocates for an open, accountable, corrupt-free government and society without fear of victimization by state agencies. We need to be given confidence by this council on the plans of the city, on what they are going to do with this particular property. I will read, because Speaker, I hear that also, Umama Omanyano, I hear that Umama Omthandazo. I will read for you the second Chronicles, verse 7, 13 to 15. Sky, if close the sky so there is no rain, or if I command the locust to devour the land, or if I send a plague among my people, and my people who are called by my name and humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, forgive their sins and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer in this place. And we note the recommendations that are set on page 45 of this item with huge reservation. We just wonder why only now that the matter has been brought into council when the agreement of July 2012. Well, we note the item, Speaker, with recommendations that are on page 45 with huge reservations. Thank you very much.
Amen, Councillor Mabona.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mabona.
Amen.
Now, councillors, please be in order. You can't behave like you are not leaders in front of the citizens. This is life. MMC Phillips.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We note the concerns, the input and the concerns and reservations that has been raised by the EFF, represented by Councillor Mabona, and we will also take that into consideration. We ask that.
Thank you very much. The recommendation, thank you, MMC. The recommendations are on page 45.5. Can I get an indication if you are agreeing with the recommendation?
Governance, ethical leadership.
I agree, Madam Speaker.
I mean,
I agree, Madam Speaker.
thank you. Freedom Front Plus.
Madam Speaker.
Coast.
Agrees.
Coast.
Cope agrees.
Thank you. PA.
Patriotic Alliance agrees, Madam Speaker. Agreed.
Thank you. AIC.
Agree, Madam Speaker.
IFP.
IFP support the item, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. EFF.
The EFF agrees with huge reservations, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Agree.
Recommendations.
Thank you very much. All the councillors, 230, agrees with the item. Therefore, The item carries.
6. Acceptance of a donation and the purchase of a 4833 Veldep Freedom Park Extension 90 for road construction purposes development project.
Thank you very much, Mpo. Councillor Hughes. In the meantime, maybe Councillor Hughes is still trying to connect.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Once again, during this period of COVID, prayer is quite important. I will speak on item in the purchase of ER 4833 Veldep Freedom Park Extension 90 for road construction purposes as part of a metro development project. The EFF notes the recommendations set on 3 and 46.4, but the question again still remains, why now? But I guess we all know that all shall be revealed within time. I just quote from an article that was shared by Umak Corbett. Our family is living in fear again. We have no idea what will happen next. The situation is leaving us scared and uncertain. We still don't know what the reason is behind this and why we and our children are being targeted with bombing and other threats. This was a remark made by Umar Corbett, the CEO of Century Property, who owns several malls which were targeted and also received death threats. The objective of this report is to obtain council approval for
in council. I would not want to sit here and make excuses for this item being tabled at this particular moment. I know that there is a whole lot of assumptions. However, Madam Speaker, at the back of that, we still need approval, and we ask that council approve the recommendations of this report. I thank you.
Thank you very much, MMC Phillips. Councillors, the recommendations are on page 46.3 to 46.4. Is the ANC agreeing to the recommendations? African National Congress?
Agreed.
Education.
Democratic Alliance,
Agreed.
thank you. EFF,
Noted with the reservations.
is for agreeing recommendations.
Gafana, we agree, but with huge reservations.
Okay, IFP,
Agreed.
AIC,
Agreed, Speaker.
Al-Jama,
Agreed.
Patriotic Alliance,
Agreed, Madam Speaker.
COPE,
COPE agrees.
Freedom Front Plus,
Agreed.
ACDP.
ICDP agree, Madam Speaker.
I didn't get that one, ACDP.
I said ICDP agree, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, councillors. All 230 councillors are agreeing to the recommendations. Therefore, item 46 carries. Thank you.
Item 47, approval of installation of bulk services in respect of properties sold under land regularization program in Zone D Township, Soweto, and acquisition of the properties that are required for municipal basic services.
Thank you very much, Mpo. Councillor Mphahlele.
Speaker.
Yes.
It's Councillor Matebe. Yes.
Yes.
The EFF would like to withdraw the speaker and participation on this one. We are withdrawing our statement on this one. Thank you.
Okay, you're withdrawing your statement. All right. Councillor Phillips, MMC.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On that note, we ask that Council approve the recommendations of this report, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MMC. Councillors, the recommendations are on page 47.20 to 47.21. Is the ANC agreeing to the recommendations?
Agreed, Speaker.
Democratic Alliance?
Agreed.
I didn't get that one. Councillor Not? All of us.
We agree.
Thank you. EFF? You abstain, okay. IFP?
Agreed.
AIC?
We agree, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Al-Jama?
Agreed, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Patriotic Alliance?
Patriotic Alliance agrees, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. COPE?
We are in agreement, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Freedom Front Plus?
Abstain, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
Abstain.
ACDP?
Madam Speaker.
ACDP?
Agree, Madam Speaker.
All right. Councillors, we have the following. We have the ANC agreeing with 98, GA agreeing with 97, IFP agreeing with 2, AIC agreeing with 2, Al-Jama agreeing with 1, PA agreeing with 1, COPE agreeing with 1, ACDP agreeing with 1. Then we have EFF abstaining with 12 as Freedom Front Plus abstaining with 26. Sorry, with 1. My apologies. With 1. So abstain.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you. 26. I'll take that.
27. Okay. So we have 203 councillors agreeing to the recommendations and 27 Abstaining. Therefore, item 47 is carried. Thank you.
Item 48, naming of streets in Dobsonville, Ward 48, Region D.
Item 48. Councillor Mabona. Councillor Mabona.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Again, Madam Speaker, the question remains, why now? After a long 15 years, this item was agreed upon and it's only brought to council years later with a fresh new mandate for item 48, a fresh new. The EFF notes the report requesting the approval from council to be granted for the naming of the streets in Dobsonville, Ward 48 in Region D. However, the key worrying factor is that the report states that the regional office initiated a public participation process in line with the city's policies. What on 17 July 2005 and as on the 21st of June 2009, and chaired by Ward Councillor J. Lekgetho of Ward 48. The notice of intention to name an unnamed street was advertised in the local Caxton newspaper on the 23rd of August 2012. Comments were received from the public within 28 days given that period to comment. For this matter to be held for such a long time, it's not a matter of agency, it is between life and death. However, we are aware of the logistical nightmares it has on the residents when they need to give a proof of residence and also for other services that they might need. For us, I think we recommend that it be taken back to the Section 79 Committee for further scrutiny and mandate renewal. It needs a fresh public participation process, because even if you can look at the report itself, it has less than 30 people who for the renaming of those streets in Ward 48. Yes, even during this period of COVID pandemic, there can be better participation, public participation on this particular report from the residents of Ward 48. So I recommend that we send the matter back so that it can clearly get a better participation from the public, as it was the mandate has been long overdue. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mabona. MMC Arnold.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and good afternoon to everybody. This process of naming the unnamed streets, it was informed and guided by the city's policy on naming and renaming of streets and public places. What are the benefits? The provision of street names has a lot of benefits for residents, business, and the city. When a resident has a street address, they are able to be registered in the IEC voters roll and be eligible to vote. Residents are able to receive municipal bills, statements. Residents can benefit from the city's emergency response services, from the EMS, JMPD, SAPs, etc. We are tired of seeing our people standing under the bridge when they need to get an EMS to come to them at 12 o'clock at night. We've witnessed that people get killed while waiting for the EMS. It happens a lot in Slovo, that is around Eldorado Park. When in need, we need to have a quicker period for these people to get to the person, like online purchases for goods and services, items like buying furniture, etc. Because now they will receive deliveries to their home addresses. This is also very critical during the time of COVID-19, wherein the residents are expected to remain at home. City can be able to communicate directly with the resident about the city services, and address also helps the state to conduct national census to update our population register. Public places like libraries can lend books to learners, knowing that they have accurate residential data. Schools also benefit because now they can have exactly where the learner resides, especially for after-school related needs. We therefore ask Council to approve these street names. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, MMC Arnold. Councillors' recommendations are on page 48.3. Is the ACDP agreeing to the recommendations?
The ACDP agrees, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Freedom Front Plus. Freedom Front Plus, are you there?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a bit of connectivity issues again. Freedom Front Plus agrees. Agrees.
Thank you.
COPE agrees.
Thank you. Patriotic Alliance.
Patriotic Alliance agrees, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. El Jamal.
Oh, agreed.
Thank you. AIC.
Agree, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. IFP. Thank you. EFF.
Madam Speaker, the EFF agrees with reservations. Thank you.
Chris, thank you. Democratic Alliance.
We agree.
Thank you. African National Congress.
Madam Speaker.
Thank you, councillors. 230 councillors in the House agreeing with the recommendations. Therefore, item 48 carries. Thank you.
Item 50. City of Johannesburg MFMA in-year financial report for the period ended 30 September 2019.
Thank you very much. Councillor Dlandwa.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, reversal greeting to you as well as the people in the gallery. Speaker, I want to quote from Martin Luther Jr., who once said, and I quote, "There comes a time when silence is betrayal. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matters." And also, Albert Einstein also entangled to that quote by saying, and I quote, "The world is not bad because of those who do harm, but because of those who look at it without doing anything." The EFF cannot be silent when the ANC government is looting the city's coffers unabated. EFF cannot turn a blind eye or look away while on cities of Johannesburg's corruption. As Speaker, things came to steal, kill, and destroy. The EFF has came so that you might have life and have it to the fullest. The economy freedom fighters note that the balances in the sinking fund portfolio is reduced by 16 million during the month ending of September 2019. MMC of Finance, Councillor Johnny D. Matongo, who is responsible for the political oversight on spending by the economic hub of South Africa, must tell this House who is currently managing the city's sinking funds. And we want answers today, MMC Matongo. Is Regiment's consortium still managing the city's sinking funds despite being found to have colluded with Bololwane, a company owned by Mayor Tsotsi #1, who scored an estimated 30 million from the city's Johannesburg sinking fund by acting as an influencer broker? In 2006, the Regiment Fund Managers, a division of Regiment Capital, received a contract to manage the city's sinking fund, a pool of several billion rand put aside.
Councillor Dlandwa. Can you please, Councillor Dlandwa? Oh, Iman.
Order, Speaker.
Can we please be in a council meeting? I have requested Councillor Dlandwa to step aside a moment because there's a point of order from Councillor Kenneth Mkaka. Councillor Mkaka, yes. Please raise your point of order.
Speaker, Councillor Dlandwa angimuzwa kahle man. Like he's making noise, so I'm trying to follow the input. So I was trying to say no, he must come down so that we hear. Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, Councillor Dlandwa, can you please take councillors along by not being so fast when you're making your input?
Thank you, Speaker.
It's important to all the councillors to hear you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Mkaka, can you please lower your hand?
And we would like MMC Matongo to tell us whether is Regiment Consortium still managing the city's seeking funds, despite being found to have colluded with Mololwane, a company owned by Mayor Tsotsi number 1, who scored an estimated 30 million from the City of Johannesburg fund by acting as influence broker. In 2006, Regiment Fund Managers, a division of Regiment Capital, received a contract to manage the city's seeking fund. They put... Oh my God.
Councillor Danjwa, there's a point of order from Councillor Nfikwe. Councillor Nfikwe.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much.
Can all other councillors hear me?
Can you hear me?
Councillor Mkaka, please mute. Okay, yeah,
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was saying, Councillor Danjwa, as much as we would really love to hear what he is saying, he must speak to the report as well as quote what part of the report speaks about regiments. Because I read the report, there's no way where it speaks about any of the things that he was just saying now. If you could just take us along nicely so that we be in the level alingoyona. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Danjwa, can you please confine yourself to the body of the report?
Speaker.
Councillor Novel.
But you must call this frivolous point of order to order, Speaker.
No, Councillor Novella.
We can't tell Councillor Danjwa how he must debate unless otherwise he has said something in the same violation of the rules. This point of orders are frivolous. They should not be allowed. Which rule have you violated, Speaker? That's how you call somebody to order. You do that based on the rules. Which rule is Councillor Danjwa violating on this debate that is busy with now? Which rule? If there's no rule that you have violated, therefore this point of orders are frivolous. You should not be putting yourself to that kind of bullying, Speaker. You can't be bullied like that. Don't be bullied.
Councillor Novella, the reason why we have items and the items have headings and the headings have the content of the report is for council to deliberate and debate the report so that we can agree on the recommendations. So councillors, as they debate, they must debate based on what the report says. They must confine themselves on the report.
On which rule you are calling Councillor Danjwa to order?
Councillor Danjwa, I did not give you a platform, Councillor Novella, to find himself on the report that is on the table. Councillor Danjwa,
as long as there's no rule that you have violated.
Councillor Novella,
Madam Speaker.
I did not give you a platform, Councillor Novella. I now calling upon Councillor Danjwa to debate the report. Councillor Danjwa. Unmute yourself, Councillor Danjwa.
Truth hurts, man. The truth hurts because what I'm debating is the regiment fund managers is in the report, and Councillor Matsidiso does not serve in finance, so he didn't even read the report. However, let me continue because consortium, the regiment. Speaker, in 2006, the regiment fund managers, a division of regiment capital, received a contract to manage the city seeking fund. A pool of 700 billion rands put aside to meet the city's future debt repayment. By 2015, the regiment fund managers had taken an estimated 300 million in fees. Regiment fund managers agreed to pay 10% of the consulting. The city also allocated a budget of 590, which is nearly 100 billion. Yesterday, Johannesburg fined EOH 500 million.
Madam Speaker, on Councillor Danjwa.
Can you please confine yourself to the report? You are left with 5 seconds.
Speaker, can I request that to add my time because people keep on disturbing me as I was speaking?
No,
please.
When they are disturbing you, we hold the clock.
What I'm saying is that
when they disturb you.
Speaker,
remember,
the EOH, ICT is having a contract worth more than 100 million with the city of Johannesburg. And yesterday, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange fined the EOH 500 million for false and misleading financial record. The EFF calls for the city to abolish the use of consultants like EOH, Makubo's Mulelwane, as well as Gijima Consultant, and procure directly with the city without using those consultants, because we are using the city's money unabated. The last non-negotiable cardinal pillar of the July 26 movement is about open, accountable, free government and society without fear of victimization by the state agencies. Corruption is public enemy number one. Corruption is worse than COVID-19, Ebola, cancer, and HIV combined. The EFF hate consumption with passion. And if the mayor still asks about corruption, he must fire himself as the mayor. As the EFF, we know the report with reservation. Thank you.
Time out, wena man. Puma, Tantra.
Councillor Mnyamen. Councillor Matongo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thanks for the input from Councillor Dlanjwa, who at times seems to have read the reports correctly, but at times twist the facts and the information in the reports. What is quite important is that Councillor Dlanjwa at the end says they know the report with reservations. But Madam Speaker, I think if Councillor Dlanjwa is true to the facts, this report that we are considering is a report of September 2019, when the ANC and the government of local unity partners were not responsible for the finances of the city. So when you sit by and look at the ANC looting the coffers, I think that statement must be directed elsewhere. I think he's got an order of sorts, Madam Speaker. Do I proceed or do I step aside?
Who's calling an order?
Dlanjwa?
I don't see the hand.
Okay.
Yes.
No, thanks, Madam Speaker. I think the issue around
Speaker,
the
my hand is
fund,
up. Point of order. My hand up.
Oh, your Councillor Dlanjwa, yes. Sorry, can you step aside, MMC?
Speaker, I'm raising a point of order on MMC Matongo for misleading the council. The Regiment Consortium and Mululwane benefited in council from Makuba, who is the mayor right now. So he cannot say to the council that Makuba is not related to that. Thank you very much.
That's the point of order.
Councillor Dlanjwa, that is not a point of order. MMC?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the energy of Councillor Dlanjwa is appreciated and must be directed at the real issues.
Speaker.
And the sinking fund.
Order, Speaker.
Yeah, Councillor Matongo, can you... Councillor Mseka, what is your point of order?
Thank you, Speaker. Can the MMC please stick to responding to the comments by councillors and not say any other thing? Please treat us equally. You confined Dlanjwa to the report, and the MMC equally must speak to the comments of the councillors. Thank you.
Just like councillors must speak to the report.
I did not give you the platform. MMC Matongo.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Unmute yourself, MMC.
The question on the sinking fund is who is managing the fund? The fund has no fund manager as we speak. Regiments did write to the city to say they are cancelling their participation in the contract already late last year. We will bring to the council a report as it relates to the decision by council in 2018 already to sever ties with regiments, which never happened under the DA-led coalition government until regiments voluntarily decided to sever ties with the city of Johannesburg. So as things stand, we do not have regiments operating within the confines of the city and our administration. So, Madam Speaker, I think it will still be a a long journey between now and item 57. Let me reserve my other comments so that when Dlanjwa comes, I'm prepared. We ask the council to note the report as is for information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MMC. Councillors, the item is for noting. May I check if the ACDP is noting the report?
Madam Speaker, the ACDP is noting the report.
Thank you. Freedom Front Plus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Freedom Front Plus notes the report.
Thank you, Cope. Cope.
Cope agrees. Cope agrees, Madam Speaker.
All right.
Speaker.
Okay.
Speaker.
Patriotic.
Speaker. Just to put your attention, the mayor is asking the IT to be able to assist that he become unmuted when he wants to speak because he can't unmute himself from where he is. Please. And he can't.
Okay, thank you very much. IT, can you please assist the executive mayor with muting and unmuting, please? Patriotic Alliance.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Al-Jama, are you noting the report?
Noted.
Thank you. AIC.
Noting, Madam Speaker.
IFP.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
EFF.
Noted with reservations.
Democratic Alliance.
Noted.
ANC.
Noted and agreed to the Speaker. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillors, the item is noted. Thank you very much.
Item 51.
Speaker.
City of Johannesburg, MFA in
Speaker.
Yes, Chief Whip. Chief Whip.
Before you start, Speaker, I want to raise something with council. Can we ask all parties and councillors of the city? You know, yesterday there was an issue in relation to the item that was raised by Councillor Mpogolosho in terms of but the same cannot happen that today councillors make remarks about the executive mayor being Tsotsi number one. When there's no court that has found the executive mayor guilty, and the EFF behaves in this manner, please, if they want to be respected, they should respect the number one. And I'll wait for any court, Speaker, that would pronounce on such matters. There's nowhere where been found guilty. We should have the law that be done by the EFF. We can't allow the EFF.
Speaker, order.
Can we call order, Speaker?
Councillor Novella. Councillor Novella.
Right, Speaker, I have to call this order on you. I don't think you are leading council properly. The Chief Whip is speaking, and on which item we do not know, on which rule we do not know. And you are allowing him to speak. I mean, if the Speaker, if the Chief Whip wanted to raise a point of order, he should have raised that point of order when the Speaker who said all of the things he's alleging were said was still on the podium. That is speaking is speaking on a point of order, and for him to drag the name of the EFF, it's actually out of order. But you are allowing him to speak, Speaker. You are allowing him to speak, and you're not even asking him on which point is he speaking, which role is he speaking. Please lead us, Speaker. Lead us, so that this council do not degenerate into a chaos which the Chief Whip is leading us into. And it's disappointing that is the Chief Whip, and they want to lead a degeneration of council. He should be ashamed of himself, actually.
Speaker, just on a point of order, Speaker.
No, it's Chief Whip. I don't want us to go around.
No, we're not, Speaker.
I just want to say, in terms of Rule 21, Councillor Novella.
Yeah.
in terms of Rule 21.6, it is the responsibility of the Chief Whip of Council to maintain discipline in council. So the Chief Whip did indicate that he has observed the ill discipline in council, where councillors are not necessarily talking on the reports, but they are talking on insulting other councillors. So it is within the Chief Whip of Council's powers to maintain discipline according to Rule 21.
Can we call order on you, Speaker?
Thank you very much. We are proceeding. We are going to another item.
Can we call order on you, Speaker?
You can't call order on
I cannot call on order.
I was
Which rule says that?
You can't call an order to me when I read a rule.
Which rule? Which rule prohibits me from that?
Rule 21.6. Can we proceed, councillors?
Item 51, City of Johannesburg MFMA in-year financial report for the period ended 30 October 2019.
Councillor Dlanjwa.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The Economic Freedom Fighters note the City of Johannesburg MFA in-year financial report for the period ended 30th October 2019. However, it is still a concern to us that the sinking fund management is just lying there with no one who's managing it. To the City of Johannesburg residents, behold, the country is under siege. If you have got the millions of rand that are standing there, not managed by anybody, who are capable of being stolen by the vultures and thieves and hyenas, you should be getting worried. But I leave that to you as the resident of Johannesburg to decide. Speaker, I'm still having a concern as well, which Councillor Matongo didn't explain earlier on, as to why the balances of this sinking fund portfolio was reduced by 16 million during those months that were mentioned in this report. We note with reservation that as the EFF, we are against corruption, and if Tsotsi number 1 is serious about corruption, he must first fire himself for allowing the funds of the city to be exposed to corruption unabated. Thank you very much.
Councillor LMC Matongo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I did not respond to the 16 million decrease in the sinking fund. And if Councillor Dlanjwa would have properly read the report did indicate that the net decrease of 16 million is as a result of negative market movements, which would have had a negative impact on the value of the tradable instruments portfolio. So if he had read the report properly, I think he would have gotten the answer. The money in the sinking fund is still there. The money is there. The money is not going anywhere. So if there's some looter who wants to loot the money and does so, we should be able to track and trace the movement of the money. So there's no need for the people of Johannesburg to worry about looters coming nearer the fund. Where we agree with Councillor Dlanjwa, where we are also concerned, is that this money should have been used to invest in a number of things. So if you do not have a fund manager, it becomes a matter of concern. We are working on ensuring that we appoint a fund manager, but we are also looking at using our own internal capacity within the Treasury Department to manage the fund ourselves. We ask the Council to note the report. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, MMC. Councillors, the report is for noting. Can I get an indication from ACDP?
Madam Speaker, ACDP agree.
Freedom Front Plus.
Madam Speaker, Freedom Front Plus, note the report. Thank you.
COPE.
Report is noted, Madam Speaker.
Patriotic Alliance.
Noted, noted. PA notes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Al Jama.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. AIC.
As you agree, Madam Speaker.
IFP.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. EFF.
Noted, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. DA.
Noted.
ANC.
Noted.
Thank you very much, councillors. The item 51 is noted by council and therefore it proceeds. Councillors, the team working from the council chamber is requesting for a comfort break. We are therefore requesting 20 minutes for the team. They have been sitting from 10 o'clock until now, which is unhealthy. So we are requesting for 20 minutes break, please. Thank you very much.
And now I'm ready to embrace the grace that God has.
It takes one Tsotsi to recognize another.
And music producer.
Madam Speaker, can the IT at the same time check the
Pardon? I said she takes one Tsotsi to
This show is rated PG. Parental guidance is advised for younger viewers.